Welcome to episode 16 of the VADA Studio Confessions podcast. Now, with me today, I have an old chum who's been working at VADA Studios now for about 8 or 9 years with bands including Sleep Token, Loathe and Holding Absence. Please welcome Mr. George Lever.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, nice to have you back.
Yeah, it's nice to be back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this one.
I don't think you've ever sat here though, have you?
No, this is normally someone else's job being here.
Yeah, like a drummer.
Yes.
So yeah, talking of drummers, you started as a musician
Yes.
and then you became a producer.
Yes.
So I want to know about the 2 times that you first ever went into the studio. Most people only kind of have that first time of going into the studio as being a musician, whereas you've done it twice. You've had your first experience in a band or being a musician and your first time sat at a console being in charge, trying to round up a band.
Yeah.
So please tell me what exactly both those first experiences were.
So I was actually a producer in a studio before I was ever a musician in a
Oh,
studio.
were you?
Yeah. Because although I was a musician first, that lasted like 12 months. And then I started recording people. And so my band was always like a bedroom band. And by the time it was ready to not be a bedroom band, I'd already started doing the job. So first time I ever went into a studio as a producer was either Moles.
Bath Moles. Amazing.
Yeah.
SSL console.
Mm-hmm. It's genuinely, every time I've told you that like it's my preference, it's like...
Interestingly, because that was fire damaged, that console, and I'm pretty sure that the remains of it, because it was cut down a little bit, but that console's now at Otterhead Studios.
Really?
I could be wrong. So with the production side of things, did you ever do formal education or just...
Yeah, but it wasn't good. No. Like I did go to university for music production, but it was like one of these courses where the university had just made up the curriculum, because there was like stuff like video DJing in the curriculum, like how to create like visuals for like background and how to trigger them off an Akai. Like, I just remember doing these modules and being like, how is this going to get me to where I want to be? There was shit like that, and then they tried. I cheated a lot.
Did you?
Sorry, I cheated. Yeah. So
technically, you're not truly qualified to do this job.
I don't even think I've got a qualification. I don't think I completed the 3 years.
Do you know what? I don't think anybody that does a production course ever completes it.
No.
I just think, yeah.
Yeah, no, each piece of coursework, I've found the shortest and quickest way of getting it done so that I could just go back to doing what I wanted to do. Which was just record bands in my bedroom.
And and it's live, proper, on the field kind of doing it. And I think that's the best way you can learn.
Well, half the time, I managed to piss off my tutors enough that I managed to get them to agree to sign me into classes when I wasn't there. And I wouldn't come in for 2 weeks because I was off recording bands. I said, like, I'm technically doing the thing that you want me to do.
Yeah, well, that's kind of okay, isn't it, really? I mean, I imagine a lot of
I don't think
students...
they were supposed to do that, but...
No, but some students would just kind of piss off for 2 weeks and just go and smoke pot in a room.
Sure, that was my housemates.
That's the sort of thing they object to, isn't it?
Yeah, but it was like... So yeah, I would cheat. I say cheat. I would cheat. There was like one assignment which was go and record a live gig and I couldn't be bothered. So I just programmed it. And then I just added Foley.
That's the sort of thing I'd do.
Yeah, and I got a first for it.
But that's how most people actually record live albums these days, I think.
Oh, but get this though. I felt really annoyed, but I was like, fine, fair. There was this one assignment which was record live drums for your music. Just go record live drums. And apparently I did them too well because they thought they were programmed. So the one place where I cheated and I didn't try, I got fine. The one time I try and apply myself, they go, it's not real. And if you challenge it, we'll take more points off your mark.
Wow.
So leave it. I was just like,
wow.
Learned my lesson. Yeah.
That's that's kind of probably like real, true life lessons, actually. But also, yeah, it's just like, it's a nice...
Because they didn't know what quantizing was.
Okay.
Because I quantized it. So there was no swing. And it was metal, so...
Yeah. That's how most people make records, these metals records.
But like, what, 18, 20? How old am I? 36. 18 years ago. Yeah. But maybe it wasn't such a thing for them then. I don't know.
Yeah. Where did you go?
Bath.
Bath Uni.
Yeah. I don't even think they do the course anymore.
Because there was a scandal. They found out about students cheating.
No, it's just like, I finished and they were like, well, we can't do better.
So who would you say your, like, in terms of production and what drew you towards that, who would you say your biggest influence has been?
For production?
Can you remember the power? I can remember the first time I saw a producer and I kind of went, oh, that's what they do. And that was a video Funky Monks, which is the making of Blood Sugar Sex Magic, and it's with Rick Rubin. And I remember watching that video over and over again and that's when I fell in love with the recording process, because it just looked so easy and stress-free and cool, apart from when John Frusciante has a bit of meltdown at the end of the video about life.
Yeah.
But that, and I remember, I can specifically remember there's a scene where Rick Rubin is sitting with Flea and they're tracking the bass for Give It Away. And it's really, really busy bass line and they just are kind of on a loop. And slowly but surely, Rick Rubin is just like stripping the notes away. He's like, less notey. And Flea just starts stripping it down until they get that sort of groove that is obviously the record. That was for that. And I always remember going, oh my God, yeah, I want to do that.
Interesting. See, I think, I'm trying to think where maybe it was when I started to understand, because there was like, there's a few, but I don't know if they were mine or if I inherited them from other people. You know, like so Sneap or Adam D from Killswitch Engage. And I think there was like, and then there was a period where there was this guy called Joey Sturgis that was making records for a while and he managed to flip the metal industry on its head. But I don't know if they were like, oh, I want the people that made me go, oh, I want to do that. I think it was more, they highlighted how broad the same genre could be and what how much scope we have to work with like how theatrical something can be, or how like I got distracted because we got a mate at the window waving. Like he said, I'm here. He's just like, hello, why are you sat in chairs? No, but getting to my point, with like Adam D or like Joey Sturgis, they showed how far down different paths you could go within the same genre. Like Adam D was like super organic, super like, he did Killswitch and Parkway Drive and probably loads others that I don't know about. But then there was Joey, who was working out of his garage and just churning out these records for Rise that were just like extremely overproduced metal that just took everyone by surprise. And he was going on forums and telling people how he was figuring out like the mathematic equations for like the right place to do high pass filtering and the right ratio for compression and where to EQ and all this based upon musical values. And so I was like seeing, oh, so there's like a complete vibe ethos and then there's a complete scientific down the other end of a microscope version. I found that fascinating, but I don't think it ever like made me go, oh, I want to be like, either I want to be a boffin or I don't. Like, it's just...
But you like the mathematics of it though as well?
Some of it, but I think I started there because I wanted to have a grasp of it. I think more often than not, I'm throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks.
Yeah.
Because I know what being analytical gets me, and it's not fun.
No, I think there's a place for it. I mean, all the records that I know that you've done, you listen to them and you can hear a really nice vibe, you know, as well as like sonic accuracy and sonic, like, fuck me. Do you know what I mean? So I think, but I do think, especially in metal, and I've discussed it a few times on the podcast, there has been, because of the nature of the production and how a lot of things are done in the box and can be done in the box in that genre, I think there are a lot of metal records that are quite sterile because of that now and do lack a bit of vibe. And I think that has been the mathematics going into it.
I also think that there's a lack of, I think, understanding songwriting at a core level gets lost in metal as well, because there's like quite a lot of cheap thrill chasing in metal. It's kind of like the Michael Bay version of making a film, right? It's like, oh, the script's boring, so I'll blow something up. And then there's like the old school route, but it takes time. Like you have to get to the final script to understand that that's actually your first draft.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of, not impatience, but maybe lack of knowledge or lack of figures of authority for people that are maybe trying to teach themselves how to songwrite. Like they have no one to approach to go, is this what a thing is? Is this a vibe? Is this how this works? Is this how these sounds can go together? Very much like, I know we were talking earlier about, like, I was talking with your assistants about cooking, how cooking and mixing are fairly similar. And in the cooking world, at least you can go to professional kitchens and get taught how to cook if you want to be a chef. But in music, you can't go and get taught by the best songwriters in the world how to make songs. It's very few and far between. Of course, I can't go into the fat duck and be like, all right, Heston, how do I do that?
Yeah.
But I feel like the opportunity to understand that stuff is a lot easier in other places. And with music, learning how to make, like, think about like the time it actually took for you to understand, oh, that's what makes a song like make me feel something, and how long that took for you to get to a point where you understood how to control that for someone else. It takes a long time. And without that give a fuck attitude, it probably wouldn't have ever happened. And what I'm seeing is that fewer people are curious to like want to know how to do it. They just want me to do it for them.
Well, we're in it's an era where songwriting doesn't necessarily have to be synonymous with the artist. You know, there are lots of people that are perfectly happy to just be an artist and be considered as an artist, and you know, they don't songwrite. Normally by the second album they go, yeah, I want to start writing my own stuff because the first album was so successful.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, that's because that had writers on it.
Yeah.
No, but I think I can write this one. I really do. It's like, oh, album 2, not very good. Interesting.
Yeah, I think that's maybe more one side of the industry than, like with metal, there's quite a lot of the bands want to own what they make, but that makes it difficult to have like the complete opposite, where there are writers in the room or people collaborating. Collaboration seems to be like the key for like any type of success, and it just takes a long time to learn it. Like, especially when I started out, it was a metal band and we desperately didn't want anyone to touch our shit. If it was going to be bad, it was going to be bad because of us. And if it was going to be good, it would be good because of us. But it took us, I think maybe over the 3 or 4 years that we were active, we probably only wrote one good song as a result of that, as a result of not reaching out to try and like be curious or to understand. Whereas in the other aspect of the world is that with that many writers, all the artist had to do, they had direct access to those people that were helping them get a really great record, and they just had to ask. And it was immediately there. So it's like negligence in multiple different directions.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, isn't it? The definition of a great record is quite a sort of a blurry thing. And I mean, how do you define a great record? And what are the things that you shoot for when you're actually making a record? Like what are the sort of umbrella sections of, right, I want to achieve this, I want to achieve that, and I want to achieve that, because that's what makes my record a record I'm proud of and the sort of thing that I do. And then actually I'd also like to know, out of your vast career, your favourite 3 records that you've made, in terms of the ones that you're most probably proud of.
So it'll be like the 2 obvious ones are Sundowning and the record that I did with Loathe. But like in 3rd place, I actually really enjoyed the split EP that I did with Loathe and Holding Absence. I thought that was like pretty pivotal for my career and a big risk, because at that point in my career, I had to back it. I had to fund everything in order to get it done. I had to pay for all the studios and then finish the EP before the label would even consider paying me back because they wanted to hear it before like buying it. So that was risky. Like that was all my money gone doing that. Just that was no thought process. That was just do. But I really love how that one turned out because there's like quite a lot, especially like if you listen to it, there's quite a lot in the two songs that Holding Absence put together where you can hear the elements of where their career ended up going, and the same kind of with Loathe. I guess they're less no, actually they still do it. No, I agree with what I said first. There's like quite a lot of evidence in all of the songs of where the bands ended up going and ended up maturing to. Sundowning I love because it was the first time I ever got to imagine what the record would be and then go and do it and not have any regrets about it. And Loathe was great because it was like I got to have like fairly similar experiences either side that are very like I don't think I actually know what your answer to that question is for you, but I imagine you've probably got your own standout records where you're like, I can't do that again.
Yeah, and it's to do with chemistry, isn't it? It's to do with chemistry, how the stars align, how you feel on the day, and that's it. Sometimes like...
It's lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, because there are some days when you go in the studio and you sit down and you're like, come on, brain, you're not giving me any ideas today.
Basically.
But then there are those days and those sessions where, and I think it's because you're bouncing off the people that you're with, the ideas keep coming, you just feel inspired, so much more inspired. And there are the standout ones for me where it's like that couldn't happen again. You know,
it's nice though to have that feeling, to be able to like that's yours and this one's mine.
Yeah.
And it's nice to just be able to go like, oh, okay, I get to have that and I know what that feeling is.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, and that feeling's really difficult to describe, isn't it? Because you can feel satisfied and proud for intangible reasons.
Yeah, but also like intensely emotional. I listen to those records and it's the easiest thing for me to well up to because I know like emotionally what was on the line for me at that point in time in my life. I can remember how I felt making each song. I can remember, I remember coming here to do Sundowning. I remember pretty much every single day individualized because I know we were only here for like 2 weeks or so. But I remember...
What year was that?
It's probably 2018.
Well, yeah.
Maybe. And that was the first time... That was the year after we did Holding Absence here.
Was that the first thing you did here?
Yes. And it was the first time, not that they know, but they do know it now, first time I'd ever gotten to run an SSL properly on my own without any supervision. And I told Ryan that I knew how to do it. And instead I was over in the producer there thing, reading every night how an SSL worked.
Again, cheating.
Yeah.
I love that. You're a professional cheat. I love it.
No, it's just, I knew if I didn't say yes, I'd fuck it.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know what you're doing, and I think the thing is with any console, if you know the principle, it's all just a case of like, right, well, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
Where is it on this console?
Basically, Perks was great too, though. Like he helped a lot. Like on those first like day or two, like that was pretty important. If that hadn't existed, I think I probably. But yeah, that was. They're really good memories. Like, and the fact that it all sort of like keeps like coming back here is really nice too.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's great that you keep coming back.
Yeah, well, it sounds good. So it's kind of easy.
Yeah, well, that's a good reason to come back, isn't it? So talking about gear, what about your own gear in your studio at home? What is your setup?
So I have my desk has two. I'm flanked by two racks. My left-hand side is everything that has settings that are allowed to change. So that's like chaos.
Yeah.
And on the right-hand side, that's kind of like my set and forget side. But every year, the settings kind of like move a little
bit. Yeah.
So on the left, at the moment, it does change, and it probably will change after we go to Make Noise.
Well, that's the thing. I'm going to take you to Make Noise, and then I'm going to take you into that wonderful cave that again, I like it for two reasons. I like going in there and looking at everything that I probably can't afford to buy, and then B, I love the smell. Just that electronic
That's
smell.
going to be so fun. The smell of
Yeah.
So smell of solder.
Yeah.
So I've got a quad cortex in the rack, and I have that connected up so that I can switch presets. But their reverbs are wicked for vocals on the quad cortex. Hadn't expected it, but I'm guessing they're like modified lexicon sounds. So I've got BAE 1073s. Do you know what an overstayer is?
No.
So the company is Overstayer. They have a modular channel. Most insane piece of kit. It's 2 channels, both with mic pre's. And it has the most insane compressor that I've ever heard. Like, it's not polite. And that compressor feeds directly into a distortion unit, which is not polite, which has 3 dip switches on it. So it has 9 different types of distortion. And before all of that is a really aggressive EQ. It's a shaping box. It's a fuck box. But right at the end, you can then mix the dry signal to the compressed signal to the compressed and distorted signal. And you can send in or out a side chain, in or out the EQ per channel. It's
That's cool.
mad. It's like having a desk, but it's in a thing. I only understand that because I've worked on an SSL, because you can do all the rerouting and like. So that thing, that's for like annihilation. Just got a drum loop and I want it to come out the other end like something I've never heard. So that does that. I've got 1178, understandable. A Rev A 1176 and a Chandler Germanium preamp, which I've not used for too long. Because it makes noise every once in a while. Because it's germanium.
Yeah.
And then on the mixing side, I've got Parapultex, 33609, SSL bus comp, and a Fatso. Oh, and a Sontec clone, an HV250. That's it.
So you said to me that you were thinking of changing everything.
Yes.
So is this literally both racks, Chaos and Set and Forget, are going to just come out and go on the market, and then you're going to replace everything? Or are you going to hold on to something?
I probably keep... Well, I get really attached to compressors. That I've found that the thing that makes me feel things is compression. EQs, I can probably like... I've not found the EQ that makes me go, what the fuck is going on? So that tells me I've not found the right one. Pultex are close, but they're very like...
I was going to say, surely you'll keep those.
Yeah, but they're also a little bit smudgy. So it comes down to like... I don't know, because I've said it out loud to you, and then I'm now talking myself out of selling all the stuff, because each one, I bought each piece of gear to do a record.
Yeah.
And so it's each bit is like, I know what album that was, I know what album that was.
I'm so bad at that. I had, George Perks sat me down one day and went, "You've got too much shit and you never use it. You should sell some of it," right? I was like, "What do you mean too much shit?" And he goes, "Well, that and this and that." And I remember the one thing, eventually I did talk him into, I did sell a lot of it. He talked me into selling a lot of it. But the one thing I couldn't sell was the bass pod, the Line 6 bass pod.
Really?
And my reasoning was, I did all the first Enemy stuff on that. That was the bass tone for all the early Enemy stuff I did. And I just said, I can't ever sell that.
No, it's like there are just some things that it's not, we get encouraged to be minimalist about stuff. I think that's a bit boring.
I'm so the opposite of minimalist.
I get caught between two minds. I like things looking tidy, but I like stuff.
Yeah, me too. I'm exactly the same.
You know what I mean? So like, I think, but I like stuff. I like buttons. I like things. And the reason why I want to like change things up is because I think music sounds better going through something, even though if it's like psychological, if it makes me mix better, then it's actually a really good idea. If I think it's doing something and I do a better mix, then it's great. But there was something that I did a couple of days ago and I went, I definitely can't not mix this way. I started feeding all the outboard as hot as I could go just to see what would happen. And then everything started changing how it was behaving. I was like, Well, that doesn't happen with plugins
Yeah,
ever.
yeah.
Like there are things, there's like the inexplicable thing, because all the plugins are modeled on like Goldilocks signal ratios, right? I assume. But I was just feeling the Neve and it just started getting brighter. I was like, that shouldn't be happening. And it just got brighter and brighter. I was like, well, that sounds really good now. And I look at the meter, it's like -9. I was like, nah, there we are, fine.
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah, it's just like, and it's just, I don't know, I'm not going to get that level of enjoyment from a plugin, I don't think.
No, I completely agree. And I often say that to people. It's like, sometimes we have students come here and there's this funny thing. They'll go and they go, oh yeah, I've used the plugin of this one. I've used the plugin of that one. And it's like, you haven't really used this unit at all.
But I've worked with bands that have not plugged into an amp.
Well, yeah, just straight DIs into
their first amp is like a plug-in binaural.
Yeah.
Like my first amp was a red pod, but I then got a 5150.
Well, the kidney pod?
Yeah.
That was your first amp?
Yeah, playing. I've got videos of me somewhere on one of those old silver Canon handycams. Right, this is the first time I ever recorded myself. Right, was because I was playing. I plugged headphones into the computer, plugged the pod in. Plugged the headphones into the pod, connected the pod to the computer, used the pod as the interface, played Muse,
of course,
out the headphones, found a guitar tone, kind of did a mix, and then put the headphones over the camera where the microphone is so that I could record play-alongs. Right?
Amazing.
I'm just there going, I watch it, it's like, this sounds like shit, but fuck me. The fact that I figured out, well, if I do this is a speaker, that's a microphone, I'll do it like that. And it's me on a Strat, not even a telly, playing Muse songs with my like long emo hair.
Were you in emo?
Yeah.
Oh.
I did it.
So going back to the mixing.
Yeah, sure.
There's an interesting debate that I always ask people in terms of mixers. Are you a headphones and speakers guy, or are you just speakers?
For a long time, I was just speakers.
Yeah.
I think now there are some headphones that sound good. Yes.
What headphones would you mix on?
So I've got 2 pairs of headphones that I use. One is a set of in-ear monitors, and by a company called 64 Audio. They took me so long to learn. I hated them at first. Sorry. I bought them. They weren't even like like a gift or anything. I bought them whilst I was at NAMM. I listened to them on the show floor and I was like, these sound great. And then I bought them, and they do custom ear molds and all this sort of stuff. Get them, and I listened for the first time and I go, I hate how my mixes sound on this. I really hope this isn't telling the truth. And then I've got some Audeze. Yeah, LCDX. So they're like big, open back, planar headphones. And I like them because you can listen to stuff quiet. You can just listen like in chill out mode, but you can still reference and you can still do volume adjustments and mix and kind of get a feeling for, is the vocal getting crowded or anything like that. Most of the time I find like I just want things that show me, my speakers are for fun, and then the headphones are for like bullshit checking.
Yeah, critical listening.
Yeah, I like AirPods for podcasts. I don't tend to listen to music on them.
One thing that really upsets me is that too many bands reference mixes on AirPods.
Do you know why it's not reliable?
Go on.
They've got active EQ inside the AirPods. So they are my understanding is they have active EQ where the AirPod is able to hear what your ear canal is reverberating, and then it adjusts the EQ to the person's ear in the attempt so that everyone can hear the same thing.
Right.
But if that calculation is wrong, then it's going to skew everything. They're going to hear. Right. But that's my understanding, is that it's got active EQ inside, like Sonar works inside the thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people, the argument, there's one particular band I'm thinking of, and I discovered that the singer checked all his mixes on earpods, and I was like...
at full whack as well?
Yeah. And I said, did you check it on anything else? No. This is what I always check it on. Why? Because this is how everybody listens to music.
Well, he's not wrong.
That's what I thought.
He's not wrong. And it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, everyone listens to music in their car, and you can't fight that battle because you can't have one of every car.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah.
So I think it's just, when that happens, I just go, so what do you like the sound of in your AirPods?
Yeah.
And I just leave it there. And I just go, fine, I'll go and get that song. And then I just go, what are they hearing that I'm not hearing? And then just crack on. You got that Metric AB plugin?
No.
It's a plugin where you can load up 9 songs, volume match it to what you're mixing, and just toggle in and out.
Do you know what? I think George has got that, because I don't mix. I hate mixing. I won't do it.
It's great for referencing like anything. Like if you're producing and you want a sound or whatever, and you just want to check how far away you are.
Okay.
You could load in like old guitar tones into it.
Yeah, but I just get completely original guitar tones. I don't need to reference anybody else.
It could be your guitar tones. It
Oh
could
my
just
God,
be
imagine referencing your own
nine
work.
tracks of you.
Yeah.
It could just be like, it may not even be references of guitar tones. It could just, each track could be like, you check, yeah, you got it right. On to the next one. Yeah, it rocks. Love it, mate. Carry on.
Amazing. That would be good, wouldn't it? So do you have, like, you were saying in your mixing process that, I love that, on the left-hand side it's chaos, and
Yeah.
then the right-hand side it's kind of set and forget.
Yeah.
Do you have quite a sort of stringent process in production when you go into a recording studio with a band, or are you kind of like proactive, reactive? You sort of mold according to who you're working with and the record that you're making?
I'd like to think that it's more the latter than the former now. I think that, well, I'm assuming that happens with everyone as they like grow through the industry or grow through the job, is that I started off really strict, trying to like make everything great and in a way that I understood it when I started off, because then I'd know what I'd done. But now it's more, I'm trying to see what space there is for me to take that the band's not using. So like we start a session tomorrow here, obviously. Imagine if I start a session tomorrow, not here.
I'm going to a different...
I'm just here for the Airbnb.
Yeah.
And I've not worked with these guys before. I don't even know if you know that, but I've not worked with them before. I've not met them yet. Like me waving through the window. It's the first time I've laid eyes on any of them. And my expectation is that I'm going to get to sit down with them and go, how are you feeling about your music? And they're going to just walk me through the journey of their record, and I go, and is that how you want to feel about it? And then hopefully between those two answers, I'm going to know what I can do to help. Because really the jobs that we get to do outside of the engineering, which is go forth and get, being a producer is facilitation. Like you're a translator.
Yeah.
You're going like, how do I help you go from the idea in your head and make it reality without disturbing so much that I fuck everything in the process? Because you could get someone perfectly to where they want to be, but you can ruin everything in the process. Like you can ruin relationships, you can ruin like all sorts of things. But you'll get there, but that's a failure. But if you like, I'm saying you, I've learned this about me. I've dragged people to a finishing line and ruined it, and I've gone, well, look, I should be proud of myself. But then I look back at like the path behind me, and I've gone, that was not a good idea. Shouldn't have done that. Should know better. But I did exactly what they said. It's not a good idea. So, you know, and so now it's more like it's collaboration. It's understanding what I can do, and then also knowing my limitations of like, I'm not a magician. There are going to be limits for how good I can be and how much benefit I can provide. I'm not going to be able to solve every question or every problem. So then it's like, what battles can I pick in order to be as like effective as possible?
Yeah, I mean, that's, sometimes when you are being the translator and the facilitator, the one thing I've found occasionally is that you're doing this and then they're taking you down this one road, and then halfway down that road, you sort of, well, they turn to you and go, oh, I thought this road was going to be a bit different. I think we should go down a different road. We need to drive back 3 miles now.
Yeah.
Does that happen to you quite a few times?
Yeah. My favourite is when you know it's going to happen. So a year ago, I was in conversation with a band that's like they're based like, they've got members all over the world. And they'd just gotten signed, and we were trying to organise doing their album, right? They're very excited. And I said, like, I remember talking with their managers and I going like, the amount of time you want to give me is not enough time to get what you want.
Oh, story of my life.
Right. And they went, no, they wanted me to write an album in 2 weeks.
Wow.
I've done it before, not doing it again.
No.
I hated it. I loved the outcome, hated the feeling. And they said, well, this is what we've got to work with.
Yeah.
I shit you not. It's a year later, almost. Guess what email I'm getting?
Can we redo it?
It's not, can we redo it? It's, we've written one song. Can we talk? I was like, and I don't mean it to be, I'm not going to them going like, can you imagine? Because you could just like, look who.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's so sad because they were very confident that they could just like take themselves to where they wanted to be. And I really wanted them to be able to do it, but they couldn't because they needed guidance that wasn't being afforded to them for one reason or another. Money is the main reason, as it always is. But now we're like, I was warning them 12 months ago, kind of, please don't do that. Like, it's gonna suck. It's gonna take so long. Can we just find a way to make this the way that I'm suggesting affordable, even if it's like, I don't know, just something like, we'll figure it out. Can we please do it? No. You want 2 months, George. That's too much time. I said, no, 2 months is too little time still to do an album. You've got nothing.
Yeah,
and you want to go from ground zero to like an album in 2 months. It'll happen, but 3 or 4 is like the ideal. And even then, they wanted to go from written to mixed.
In 2 months?
I know. I was asking for 2 months to do that. I didn't know if I could do it, but I was asking for 2 months.
Even writing and recording like from scratch in 2 months is a tall order.
Yeah, but I've done albums in 2 weeks before. Not mixed, but written, recorded. I'm not doing it again.
No,
but I've done it.
So yeah, I mean, what's do you have like a rule of your working life? Like, how do you? This job is pretty mental.
Yeah.
And mental health is I mean, I know it's a big talking point, and but
well, I think it's only a big talking point because it was never spoken of before.
Yeah, and it's a real thing.
Everyone was negligent.
Yeah,
like, that's like saying like, well, if we don't talk about people being fat, obesity doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. So how do you keep a fresh mind and fresh ears? What is your kind of method of dealing with that? I mean, I pontificate that it's really important to everybody, and I claim that I'm really good at keeping the work-life balance right. But it's like I seem to be working all the time, and one thing or another, because it's like if I'm not making records, obviously running this place and all that sort of stuff. So the music industry is incredibly demanding, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, what's your vibe on that? How do you keep sane?
I'll let you know. I think I found it tough. It's tricky. I find it. There are things that I love doing, but then there are like warning signs that my brain or body will give me if I'm going too far down an avenue that I need to stop with. Like I'll just end up getting exhausted and staying, like, wanting to sleep for weeks after a record, and I'll be like, that'll be like the evidence of like I went too far.
To be honest, I always, after a record, when I used to do records in full, in one big hit, I'd always have to have like 2 weeks off.
If that.
To recharge.
Yeah, I just took a month off at the beginning of this year because I didn't get a holiday last year at all. Right. So I worked non-stop all last year, and I took all of Jan off, and I'm like, I don't want to start up again.
Yeah.
I'm really stoked that this is the record that I'm starting back up on because this is going to be sick.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, I quite like not working. After those first 2 weeks of like not working, my brain being like, you need to do something, you piece of shit. Like, gets to the other 2 weeks and I'm like, I can be a piece of shit.
Yeah, I've earned this. I can sit in my pants all day.
Yeah,
I've completely earned this.
No one's going to shout at me. No one's here.
Yeah.
Great. But like bare minimum, I just try. That sounds so influencer. I just try to do one thing for myself every day. I just want an hour in the gym to just be alone.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
not
yeah.
and not. I don't mind the job. Fucking hate phone calls. Fucking hate being on the phone for 3 hours. Hate it. It happens so much. Last week I was on the phone for 2 days solid. I got no work done. It was just calls. And it's just like, it's not rewarding. It's exhausting. Love talking to people. Love doing this. That's bullshit.
And team meetings, Zooms. It's like, yeah, it's yeah, that is one of the tedious things. The pandemic brought that into
Oh,
play
100%.
a lot more.
Yeah.
Everybody just likes a multiple Zoom with 8 people, and it's like, 2 people could have discussed this.
Oh, it's just the corporification of something that could have been an email.
But my thing is, I will probably never make a record in one big chunk ever again. I love doing it in sections now. There was a couple of records last year. There's about 3 records last year that I ended up doing in bits, in weeks, 10 days here, 5 days there, and I didn't get tired towards the end of the record. Right until the very last song, I was on it. I was focused. I had a clear vision. I felt recharged every time. Whereas, you know what it's like if you've been on a record for a long period of time, towards the back end, your judgment, you're tired, it happens. And just by chance that this happened last year, I discovered a new way of working that I really, really loved. And I also, not only did I not get too burnt out, but there's 3 records that I'm probably the most proud of my entire career.
Good.
Because I think I did allow myself to stay sharp. But at the same time, if someone said, no, we want to do it in one go, I probably would. But
you'd have to find a way.
Yeah, but I would probably sit down with them and say, you know what, I made these 3 records and did it like this. And it was really prudent. It was nice to... And the artists I work with enjoyed being able to step away, listen to monitor mixes and go, actually, do you know what? That last chorus needs that. And being able to step out of the studio and be able to evaluate like that, I think is really, really valuable. Whereas so much of the time, Perks did like a record last year, September, in like 10 days or something. And he was, in the morning, he was getting up first thing in the morning and then going onto a Pro Tools rig that we'd set up in the house for him to finish off a load of mixes for 2 different bands who are well-known bands, and those records are currently out now, I think. And they sound amazing, but it's like, I said to him, I was like, dude, you are pushing the limits of like
but he's on his journey, isn't he? He's trying to find his way through. Yeah,
it's funny. I think also talking to him recently, I think he's suddenly gone like, actually, I need to manage this a little bit more.
Oh, good.
Because it becomes unenjoyable.
Last time I saw him was maybe last time I was here, maybe 2 years ago. So last time I saw him, he was like, I need to break through. I'm just like, you don't need to do that. He's like, I want to break through. So please don't, for the love of God, don't do that.
Yeah. I mean, his work at the moment is outstanding. Everything he's churning through, and his reputation is growing exponentially every single day.
Good.
And, but I think it is, isn't it? It's that thing of sometimes you feel, because the music industry is so competitive and this game is so competitive, it's very easy to sort of feel like, if I'm not giving myself to anybody that wants me 24/7, then those people will go away and they won't want me anymore. I think that's a sort of a real...
It does happen that way.
It does, but you've always been quite mellow and relaxed and like, no, I do it like this, I do it my way, and this is what I do. You've had that confidence since I've known you.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Okay, I just
I've always kind of envied it.
Really?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, because I've always been of the like, oh, well, if I don't answer the phone and give them stems at like 6 o'clock in the morning when they phone me from America, then they won't ever want to talk to me again.
It's probably happened to me and I just don't know about it.
Yeah.
But I still panic in private about certain things. Like that internal monologue does exist, but I think I just don't want it to win.
Yeah.
And so like at some point I have to trust the people that I'm around. As much as it makes me uncomfortable to trust people that I'm going to like put myself in front of. Not always, but in some occasions it's difficult to trust, because the job that we get to do it asks a lot. It's a lot of emotion. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of involvement, whether we choose to or not. I don't think it's possible to be a producer and not be emotionally involved in what happens.
100%.
Like to a point where, wait, has this happened to you? I used to experience, when I started out, I used to get heartbroken when I'd finish a project. Like I'd broken up with a girlfriend.
Yeah, I still do now.
Yeah, and okay, I'm trying to act like I've grown up, okay?
Honestly, yeah, it's
once upon a time, yeah, no.
Yeah.
But I'd be heartbroken, and then I expressed this to another engineer once, and he went, "What are you on about?" It made me feel so weird, because he'd never experienced it.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Maybe you just care too much." I was like, that doesn't sound like caring too much. It's just like, this is the thing that I experience. So I still like that thing that you was like the inner monologue about like, oh, I need to send people stuff. It's just, I just need to, I choose, instead of fear, I now try to actively choose to trust that people aren't going to be dickheads.
Yeah.
And that if I'm proven wrong, then at least I thought the best of them the entire time rather than being afraid of it.
That's a great philosophy to have. I mean, there's that great phrase in there, no one remembers a late delivery, only a bad one.
Yes.
And that's kind of one that I live by. And as I've got older and a bit more confident with the job, I suppose, I think I kind of, I go by that a little bit more. But I do understand that thing of when you're trying to break through and you're trying to get noticed and I do say it to younger engineers and up and coming producers of like, just always be there, just always, never, just prove your worth, prove your worth. So it's kind of like, I'm saying like, yeah, fuck them. But at the same time, it's like, yeah.
Well, I think you can do both at the same time. I think it's like, don't bend over backwards for pennies.
No, that's true. That's true.
Like Dad would, so this was before I did music, and originally I wanted to be a digital artist. I wanted to do graphic design and like do photography and do magazine layouts and all this sort of stuff. And he would tell me something to the effect of, make it so it's impossible for them to do this job without you. Not in a malicious way, but like, be so good that they miss working with you, that sort of stuff. And so you don't have to be amazing at everything. You just have to be memorable, and also like your skills be so useful that there's no point in them trying to teach themselves how to do it, because you're just fun to do it with, that sort of stuff. Yeah. And that stuck for a long time. And that actually was like really prudent, because I'd spend a lot of time, I guess, analysing the different situations that I'd be in, going like, well, where can I bring the most like benefit here, so that they notice that I'm making a difference and it actually making a difference. So it wasn't just like turning up and looking like I'm busy, but actually like turning up, acknowledging where the gap is and then plugging the hole.
Yeah, that's pretty much along the lines. That's what I sort of say to people. I think that is the, I mean, that's in life as well. It's not just generally, just the studio, is it? It's like, prove your worth, make yourself invaluable, and then the rest is all good. But yeah. I mean, I think the one thing that's really important is also to have the drive, and to keep the enthusiasm, and to keep the aspiration. And I mean, I'm really appreciative of the fact that even at my age and my stage of my career, I still have loads of stuff. I mean, I've ticked loads of boxes, and I'm really proud of everything that I've done so far. But there's still more. There's still things I still want to do, and I still lie in bed dreaming. I mean, I really, really would love a Grammy. I just love a Grammy. I don't know why. I think it's because I've got quite a few friends that have got them, and I've gone round to houses and they're just like, oh, you've got. I know too many people that's got a Grammy now, so I think that I haven't got one. I don't know if I'll ever get one. But
I can make you one if you
want.
Could
you? Yeah. That'd be really good. I'll just carve it all out. But what are your aspirations? Where would you like to be in 10 years' time?
Retired.
Retired?
Probably.
At 46?
Yeah.
Just a millionaire on your yacht, because you will have developed some incredible software.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a little bit of help.
Yeah.
I think I want the choice to not have to charge people.
That's quite cool.
Because I'm a little bit nervous that access to recording is going to become too expensive for the people that deserve it. And the ones that deserve it normally don't have very much at all because they're the ones fighting. And so I haven't really figured it out. But what I want is like, you know how in America they do like things like scholarships or pay it forward or that sort of stuff?
Yeah.
So it's something similar to that is what I'd like to have exist, so that if there is someone that's really fucking great, I can be like, yeah, it's not going to cost me. I'm not going to end up in debt trying to figure out how to make this work, but also I'm going to make sure that you're not suffocating as a result of trying to find out and try and go and do it. So that's something that aspirationally is something that I'd like to have exist. Don't really know how it will happen, but it's something that I'd like. I don't want to have to charge people anymore. I want the investment to be equal.
Yeah. That's really cool. That's really noble. Very noble, in fact.
Thanks, man.
But it's also proving that you love what you do.
Yeah.
And that's it as well. I mean, what we do, we have to love what we do. And there has to be passion. If there isn't passion, because there are people that just want the money. And I think, you know, those records don't stand up like the ones that have the passion put in.
They're allowed to want money. They're allowed to be motivated by those things. It's fine. And they end up with the results that they get.
Yeah, sure.
Basically.
But musically, what would you like to accomplish in the next 10 years? Apart from the helping people?
I'd like to do it again.
Well, everything.
I'd like to experience making a record for the first time again.
Yeah.
And I haven't figured out how to trigger that feeling, but that's what I would like. I'd like to have that feeling of like, it's not discovery, is it? It's like it's 100 miles an hour on the motorway. Am I safe? Am I not? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to find that again. If I can do that before the end, then I'll be that would be wicked. That would be cool. I'd be really happy with that.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, it's a true testament that you're pretty fulfilled within your career, and with a CV like yourself, you can understand why, really.
I think it's okay. I struggle with compliments, so thank you.
No.
I just really like the things that I've gotten to experience.
Yeah.
I'd just like to have more of it.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, George, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It's been really cool and it's really, really interesting. Some really good points.
Thanks, dude.
And enjoy your session here at VADA.
Gonna do it.